Hi, hello viewers. A warm welcome to all of you to the third episode of the TLC Talk with me, Veerashiraman, which is a live show to spotlight the members of TLC, wherein you will be taken through the journey of TLC members in their training and coaching business. Each week, we'll be bringing one member who will be sharing their experiences in the TLC and how it is helping them to build and expand their training and coaching business. I have been talking a lot about TLC. What is this TLC is? TLC is an acronym for the Teachers or Leaders Community, which is a global community of authors, coaches, trainers, and speakers to tilt the world. When I say tilt, it is an acronym for Teach, Inspire, Lead, and Transform the World. The objective of a TLC is to live triple I lifestyle of income, impact, and independence. It is a goal of an TLC to help the trainers and coaches to generate an additional income of 1 to 2 lakh rupees per month and to have 1 lakh followers impacting their life and having independence for self. Let us welcome today's guest of honor, Mrs. Jaishree Rao, who is a primary teachers empowerment coach who is from Hyderabad. A warm welcome to you, ma'am, and I would request you to brief our viewers about your background, your journey so far in your field.
Thank you, Viresh. As Viresh said, I'm Jaishree Rao. Presently, I'm a teacher trainer and an academic auditor. I started my teaching career in the year 1987, and I've had more than 35 years of teaching experience. Since my younger days, I was very passionate about teaching, and I have become a teacher by choice and not chance. My journey as a teacher started in the year 1987 when I joined Kendriya Vidyalaya as a postgraduate teacher in biology. In this long career as a teacher and later as a principal, I have guided and mentored and counseled thousands of students. And as a principal and later as a teacher trainer, I have guided and mentored teachers to become effective teachers. I have helped them in their teaching learning processes and their classroom presence, thereby affecting their teaching skills and improving their teaching skills. And this had a large impact on them. I always believe that a teacher not only impacts the students, but also the society at large. A teacher plays a dominant role, verbally as well as non-verbally, in impacting and molding a student. So I'm very passionate about teaching, and I still continue, and I sure I'm going to continue for a lot many years. This is a brief about my journey as a teacher.
Thank you, ma'am, for your the brief explaining about your brief journey in this your teaching business. As you rightly said, you have entered this teaching arena by a choice, not by a chance. That is very well true. And what is happening in the last couple of years is that one most of us will be seeing teaching as a one career or one kind of an area where most of us will be understanding that one it will be a through kind of in a school or college education, and over the years the entire trend has been changing wherein the teaching and coaching kind of an activity is taking place in across the fields. Even after completing our college education, whenever we go to the kind of an corporate jobs and all, there also some kind of an training and coaching is required. We have been seeing a many kind of an people who are into teaching that kind of a people. What's your take on this one, keeping your niche as a base?
Yeah, I second your views, and I agree to every point that you have stressed upon. Teachers are passing out of colleges. They do a professional course, that's Bachelor of Education, but that is not enough to become an effective teacher. What is not taught in these colleges is to be learned by a teacher, and many of them learn in the process of their teaching career. But here, as a trainer, I give the required impetus to the teachers to become effective in the first year of joining. With my uh, many years of experience, I have designed a curriculum or a plan for these teachers how to effectively transact in a classroom. Do all teachers know how students learn, or how does learning happen in students? So most of the time, the teachers are vexed and frustrated that they are not able to transact properly. The primary reason could be because of the classroom control. This is not taught in the B.Ed college. Only the theory part of it is done, but the practicals happens the first day when the teacher enters a classroom, and the first day plays a very, very important role. This is where me as a trainer come in, where I give them all the inputs needed for the teacher to be confident in transacting their lessons. How should they be planning their lesson? How should their presence be there in the class? How should it be effective so that the students follow everything that the teacher is telling, and the teacher knows whether a student is understanding or not understanding. I'm sure, Viresh, you must be agreeing that students learn differently. All students don't learn equally, and there are various aspects. And I keep telling this even to the parents when I'm counseling them, that when we teach something to a child, within 24 hours, the child will forget, because everything goes into the long-term memory. So now pushing these concepts from the short-term memory to the long-term memory is a process which the parents should participate in helping their child in reinforcing the concepts. Once the teaching has been done in the classroom, the teacher tells the parents how to help the child to move the concepts from the short-term memory into the long-term memory. One mantra for this is practice. The more we practice, the more we revise, then the concepts move from short-term memory to long-term memory. The impregnation has to happen, the embedding has to happen. Once the embedding happens, then it remains with us. Like, for example, you take cycling. Cycling is a skill which we all have learned in our childhood. Even I have learned in my childhood. And I have not sat on a bicycle for many years. But today, if you give me a bicycle, I'm sure I will be able to cycle it, because this skill has got embedded in me and it comes to the surface. Even for a person who has amnesia can remember these skills. So even learning should be like that. In the middle of the night also, if you wake up, I keep telling the students, you should be learning in such a way that we wake you up in the middle of the night, your concept should be so clear. So every maths teacher envisages this, that their students should excel in their subject. And how is that going to happen? So the teacher should be having the tools with them to help the student to understand. Like, one method of teaching does not suit every child. So all children are different, all children learn differently. We can categorize these. In the second class happens, and in the third class you have to start categorizing. Okay, this group of students, they are auditory learners, this group of students are visual learners, these are kinesthetic learners. So once I know that these type of learners I have with me, then I will be designing my lesson plan in such a way that I can reach out to every child, and every child will be interested and attentive in my class. This is all I keep telling my teachers. So this is what I keep doing in my training programs. So all my training programs are customized to the teacher requirement. After I observe them, only then I design a training program for them.
Yes, ma'am, you rightly said that one. The learning habit of each student varies from student to student. You are rightly said, somebody through reading, somebody through visualizing, somebody through kinesthetic, all those things. That is rightly said. Since outbreak of this pandemic in the last year, and the entire education system is entering into a virtual mode, Both the teacher and the students are facing it very difficult to understand. The teacher is a little bit facing some challenges to convey the proper message to the student, and also at the same time student is also facing some challenges to understand. What's your suggestion for both the student and teacher when we are going through this virtual mode of learning?
Yes, the pandemic, I don't know whether I should say it's a blessing in disguise in one area. Why I say it's a blessing in disguise is something which was to happen in 5 or 10 years has happened within a span of 1 month. The teachers had to take a quantum leap, and the students had to acclimatize themselves to online learning. When I read, I've been reading a lot of articles where I come across where several principals are commenting on this, that there are a lot of learning gaps. And why are these learning gaps happening? Because the seriousness is not there in the students. Now, if you take these students from pre-primary to class 10th, those who are going to the school, they are learning all the subjects and they are being sent to the schools, or they go to schools primarily for socializing, the social behaviors. And in a classroom, in offline teaching, the teacher guides the students so that they can understand better. But in online teaching, the student is all alone. They do not get the support of the teacher. Physically, the teacher is not present to guide the student at every step. Like they have to keep noticing. Over here, the monitoring on the part of the teacher becomes multifold. So a teacher has to keenly observe, like if these sessions are being recorded and then the video of the student is on, and then the teacher looks at the students later after the teaching is over and observes her recording, then the teacher can correct herself and can analyze, okay, these are the students who must not have understood. Then call these students, talk to them individually to ensure that they have understood. So I have these parents coming back and asking me that they're finding it difficult. And there are some parents who keep saying, ma'am, how about teachers sharing the recordings with us? I said, okay, they'll share the recordings. What will you do with the recording? The student will not understand. When they are sitting with the entire class in the virtual classroom, they understand better. But the seriousness is still not there, especially in the board classes we are seeing. We can leave the lower classes alone, but when it comes to the class 10th and 12th, how serious are these students? So there are huge learning gaps. So how we are going to fill these learning gaps is $1 million question. And now, again, this year also we have done away with class 10th board exams, and class 12th board exams as of now have been postponed. I'm talking about the CBSE and even the state board. Many states have cancelled the 10th class exams and they are promoting them. But are these students ready to tackle the syllabus at the higher level? If their concepts are not clear, then it will be like hitting their head against a mountain, I should say. So somewhere they will again have to go and take support. Individual tuitions have to be arranged by the parents. And many of them are doing that. So online teaching is a boon. Okay, teacher can teach from the home. The child is learning, but the parent has to support the child. In the lower classes, we know that it's like the teacher is not just teaching the student alone, but is teaching the entire family. Whoever is listening, they listen to it and then they guide the student later.
Thank you, ma'am. Whatever is said, the same kind of an experience I am also going through with my kid, because there is a gap between the teacher and student in an offline mode, that is in a physical mode. It's always there. As soon as we need to get back to school, so that there is some continuity in the teaching between the student and teacher.
Everybody is looking forward to that. The children are waiting to come back to the schools because they are missing the physical environment of the school. They're missing their friends, or the more is the friends that they are missing, and everybody is looking forward. I don't know when the pandemic would allow us to have the children back in the schools.
Thank you, ma'am. Coming back to TLC, you are a proud member of the TLC Orion community. Just wanted from you, why did you join TLC and how it has been helping you in your training and coaching business?
Yes. Uh, in the month of January, a very close friend of mine was telling, would you be interested in this? There's this community which is there. You just join it as a delegate and see. And in the first session in January, I attended one of the sessions as a delegate, and it was a national meet, and Guru Murali sir was there. And when I heard him and the code of honor, when I heard that, and it resonated my thoughts. I said, okay, I'm not the only one. Till then I was thinking, okay, I'm the only one who keeps thinking or who's so passionate about teaching and all. But I found this community, the TLC, where all of them were so passionate about what they were doing. Then I spoke to some other members who were there in that, and they said, don't worry, age is not a concern at all. There are people who are much older than you who are still a part of this TLC. So I said, okay, this is a very nice platform and a wonderful platform where I could interact with people, like-minded people. When I say like-minded, I'm talking about the passionate people about whatever they are doing. They're so passionate about it. And they're looking for different means to upskill themselves. So TLC, I found, was a wonderful platform to meet like-minded people, and that was the first reason that I joined. I didn't give it a thought again. The first session I attended, and I said, okay, I'm now going to become a member of this community. And then next, I became a member of this community in the month of January 21.
Okay, thanks for your kind words, ma'am. Because you just mentioned about that code of honor that itself is a leaders. Just I would like to understand from you, what is your favorite code of honor and why?
All of them are my favorite, but the most, I think the one that takes the top priority is a lifelong learner. Which I am. And when I found this, I said, okay, wonderful, lead by example. But then a lifelong learner was one which really captivated me. And I'm so happy to see so many people who are learning and still learning. So learning doesn't stop. It starts from birth and goes up to the tomb. So, and that's one which really captivated me.
So I must salute that even after retiring, after serving by more than 35 years, still you are honoring that code of honor. That is a lifelong learner. That is a very great. So I must congratulate you for that one. Because this community is created for all the learners and the coaches, authors, speakers, and trainers. Just there is one the first code of honor, it is in a lifelong learner. Just I want to understand from you, why do you think that TLC is a platform for learners?
TLC, I've attended several training programs, and I've joined different courses to learn something. So if I wanted to learn, like if I wanted to know something about the technology skills, then I had to enroll separately for that. And if it was to become train the trainer, when I joined that, I was only given the skills on how to become a master trainer. And this academy, that is TLC, is one platform which I found, that is another one which really made me to join this community, where you are given the required skills to become an effective coach or a trainer. Next, how to improve your business skills. Always this was a big question mark. I said, how do I improve my business skills? How do I reach out to millions of people, and how do I coach them? So those skills are being given over here. And then technology was, I was in quotes, I was lagging behind because I never used it that much as a principal. I never felt the need, but then thanks to the pandemic, I got a chance to explore. But then in TLC, you are given those skills also, and everybody is very supportive. And I would love to thank you over here, Vireshji, for helping me to understand the technological aspects of how to handle launch Zoom meetings and all. You have really helped me on that.
Okay, thank you for that one. Just adding to that one, because of this pandemic, it had made all the trainers and coaches to skill on the master on three skills. That is the coaching skills, business skills, and technology skills. Anyhow, all the trainers and coaches are there super achievers in their coaching skill. But when it comes to the business and technology, some of them will be facing a little bit of challenges. Some are very good at the business, how to sell their coaching business to somebody, and also somebody else having a technology. So, what's your take on this one? Is it required for each trainer and coaches to master all these three skills? That is the coaching, business, and technology.
Mastering, I will not say, but at least you know them, it should be enough. And what I have found in TLC is there's a nice support between the members. Like if my strong area could be somebody else's weakness, and then they support each other. So that guidance is given, and through that support, we learn that particular skill. So this, there is a wonderful seamless support I have noticed. And in all the sessions which I have attended of TLC, whether it is Orion or at the national level, when I've heard Guru Murali sir and even Mr. Sudhir talking about it, this is what they keep speaking. And one thing which I have liked about what Guru Murali sir had said is, watch everybody. There's nothing wrong in shamelessly copying them. So I said that to copy also, I always used to tell my students, copying is a skill which everybody doesn't have. So it is there for you to take it. So I may be copying you, but then what I will be producing will be my own. So I may be learning something, but then after that, how I put it across is how I perceive it. So this is one thing which I have liked, where all members support each other. We may not be excelling in every aspect. I may be good with coaching, but I may not be good with my business skills. That is where I lack. And technology, I should say 50%, and I'm able to manage with that. But a wonderful support is provided by all members of TLC. So in the course of time, I'm sure we all will be excelling. The course material, what you all give, gives us enough of guidance and support.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. To have a successful training and coaching business, one need to have a proper business model. And I'm sure you got your business model during this discussion inside the TLC. Then how it is helping you to set up your entire training and coaching business?
It has given the business model, the flame, which we later has been changed to blame. So branding is very important, how you brand it, or when you're taking the B stands, blame. Blame is don't blame anybody, only blame yourself. If I don't do well, nobody else is responsible. It's only me who's responsible. That's very well told. And unless we have a model in place, nothing can be done. So it is a stepwise process. And first is identifying your niche. After you identify your niche, how you build upon it, how you brand yourself, that is more important. And then how do you put it across to the people, and then how do you get your leads and all, and how these leads help in expanding your business. So all this happens only after doing the necessary planning. Planning plays a very important role. So this I had learned only after joining TLC. So I should really thank you all for enlightening me on that aspect.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. What's your advice for aspiring and existing authors, coaches, trainers, and speakers?
My advice would be, whatever you know, put it on paper, because everybody's thoughts are different. You may be writing the same thing, but you may be writing it from a different perspective. So the perspectives varies from person to person, and one person, like you have written something and 10 people may understand, the other 10 may not understand. So whatever you know, put it. And if you start writing, you are documenting it. Documenting is very, very important. The moment it is on paper, the commitment happens. So I may talk and I may forget it. But when I write a book, I author something, I have put my signature over there, and I have to abide by it. So my advice to all the aspiring authors: do not procrastinate. I was procrastinating and delaying it, but I don't want you all to do it. And go ahead, whatever you think, write it. Write every day, at least write one page, all your thoughts, and then go through them, and then your book will come out of it. So this is my advice to all the aspiring authors.
Okay, and finally, what's your advice for all those teachers who are teaching the students on a virtual mode? How they can have a bridge the gap between the teachers and students in their academic learning?
Yes. My first advice to all the teachers is plan your lessons. Now, these sessions are either for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. If I do not do the planning, if I don't write it down, what I am going to transact, then I will be talking at length, and then I'll have one or two students telling, ma'am, time over, it's break time. So, but the teacher has not completed the lesson. So to ensure that this does not happen, proper planning is required time-wise. Writing the objectives is very, very important. If I don't write the learning objectives, the entire lesson plan will fizzle out. So first part is plan the lesson. After I have planned, I will have to go through it. This is in the initial days. Initial days, go through how you're going to do it. Okay, this is what I'm going to speak, and this is what my children will be doing. So just have a rehearsal of that, what you are going to transact in the class. After that, if this is out of your mind, it is already gone into your long-term memory, and then you can focus on the students. The next one, what I have told is plan a lot of activities, because children get bored. Children get bored very quickly, and the present generation, we know that they cannot sit in front of a screen for a long time, and we are also talking about long screen time, which is going to affect the eyesight of the children. Okay, let's make the classes interesting. Plan a lot of activities for them, which are based on their concepts. So if the activities are planned which are interesting, the children will do them with a lot of interest. After that, record your sessions and go through the sessions. Once you go through the sessions, the ones which have been recorded, I will know, okay, over here, I think I have not done it correctly. I could have explained this in a better way. So if one or two sessions, the recorded session, if the teacher observes and also has a grid view to see the students, how they are listening to her. And we know if 50% of the students switch off their videos and you can't see the students over there, but then ensure that all students have their videos on and observe the recorded version, and then correct yourself in the next class. And all the time, I want the teachers to remember that it's not just the student who is listening to you, but the entire family is listening to you. In a physical classroom, it is only the principal or the coordinators who would come and observe their classes, but now your classes are being observed by everybody in the house. So you have to be extremely careful what you are speaking and what you are writing. One wrong word on the board and I'll have the parent taking a photograph and sending it to the principal saying that, what is this your teacher is writing? So as teachers, we cannot afford to tell something wrong or write something which is not correct. So it should be error-free teaching and error-free writing on the boards. So this is my advice to all the teachers who are doing online teaching. Plan your lessons, plan a lot of activities, engage students fruitfully, record your sessions, observe the recorded sessions, and rectify any mistakes. So it is plan, execute, replan. So these 3 points are very, very important. Plan, execute, replan. If this cycle is followed, I'm sure the teachers will be successful and the students will be happy.
Okay, thank you, Jaishree ma'am, for your wonderful session on this in the last half an hour, sharing your life experiences, where you have traveled your journey as a teacher, principal, and giving a good advice to all the teachers. I'm sure all the teachers are going to implement this your advice, and they will be excelling their life. Viewers, this is all about the today's spotlight with Mrs. Jaishree Rao. We all see you in our next episode on the next Thursday. See you. Bye bye.